Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, man. I want to respond to a video Ticket put out and to the show today, Undisputed, where Skip Bayless once again continues his hatred of T.O. and his quest to keep T.O. out the Hall of Fame. Let me tell you something. All he does is try to bring up that shit about, oh, well, what about all the drop balls? And he had games where he dropped balls. Well, what about the games he came up big in? What about that clutch game where he caught that pass through all that traffic, that was thrown by Steve Young against the Green Bay Packers? What about how he torched the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl? Which, by the way, T.O. would have been the Super Bowl MVP had they won that game. So what about all those clutch passes that T.O. caught? It's funny how he loves to bring the drop balls up. Well, what about Brett Favre? What about his interception ratio? Nobody in the history of the NFL has threw more picks than Brett Favre. But Brett Favre is in the Hall of Fame. And if you ask me, Brett Favre, what about all the games that Brett Favre came up short in? What about all the games that Brett Favre threw away, where he threw a bad interception that caused his team to lose? What about how he let Eli Manning come into Green Bay and beat them to go to the Super Bowl? So you know what I'm saying? But he in the Hall of Fame. And I'm going to tell you something else. Skip Bayless is a damn liar, where he said a couple of days ago he wasn't a big Brett Favre fan. When he was on First Take, he always was, riding on Brett Favre's nutsack. Talking about when Brett Favre played for the Jets. When Brett Favre got to dress in a separate locker room, he said, oh, Brett Favre earned the right to do that. So Skip Bayless is a motherfucking lie. Now, getting to T.O., look at the man's numbers. I think T.O., out of any wide receiver, with the exception of Jerry Rice, has the most touchdowns. Don't quote me because I don't have a stat sheet right now. But T.O. has the numbers, man. And this shit didn't went on too long. See, this is the thing with Skip Bayless. When he doesn't like somebody, he just goes all out to try to demean their accomplishments. Just like how he does Floyd Mayweather, like how he was coaching Manny Pacquiao into that bullshit lie that everybody knows is a fucking lie. Manny Pacquiao wasn't fucking hurt. He just got his ass beat, and he a sore fucking loser. But that's how Skip Bayless does. If he decides he don't like somebody, he just gonna demean them at the drop of a dime. He gonna always try to find something wrong. He does it to LeBron. He does it to T.O. He does it to Floyd Mayweather. But he is full of shit. And Skip Bayless, as Ticket exposed last year, Skip Bayless played a hand in T.O. not getting into the Hall of Fame last year. And for him to say he's not a no ballot Hall of Fame, that dude gotta be fucking crazy. He is fucking nuts. Now, keep in mind, you guys, most of these Hall of Fame writers that vote for who goes into the Hall of Fame, y'all know what color they are. They're white. I can tell you that. And I've said this all along. I don't think sports writers should have a sole say-so in who gets to go to the Hall of Fame and who doesn't, because that's the problem right there. They make it personal sometimes. They make it too fucking personal. They make it about, oh, he wouldn't do an interview with me, or he was mean to the media and all that bullshit. Who fucking cares? You know what I'm saying? So they have this thing where, oh, we'll make them wait. So T.O. belongs in the Hall of Fame. And there is no ifs, ands, and buts about it. I dare somebody to tell me that T.O. don't belong in the Hall of Fame. He should have went on the first ballot. I'll give the NBA credit a little bit. Most of the time they get it right when they have who goes into the Hall of Fame and who doesn't. They got it right. Allen Iverson was a first ballot Hall of Famer. Shaquille O'Neal, of course, was a first ballot Hall of Famer. Super Coon, Charles Barkley was a first ballot Hall of Famer. Now, I thought Dominique and Reggie Miller both should have went in on the first year of eligibility. But they had to wait their second year. I thought they got it right when Chris Mullin got put in on his second year of eligibility because I didn't think he was the first ballot Hall of Fame. So for most part, the NBA writers get it right. Now, baseball, totally different story. I want somebody to try to tell me that Barry Bonds and both Roger Clemens shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. And I'm gonna tell you something. I can't fucking stand Roger Clemens. I hated that motherfucker. But I think he belongs in the Hall of Fame. Because technically, they never really got caught. Barry Bonds never failed a drug test. Barry Bonds never technically got caught. But see, I'm just, I'm digressing a little bit. I'm getting a little bit off the subject, but I'm just trying to give you guys an example of these damn arrogant ass Hall of Fame writers. They play God too much. And that's the problem. To me, the Hall of Fame should be made up. They should have 3 different votes. They should have the writers vote. They should have current Hall of Famers have a say-so. And then, shit. And the fans. I think we all should have a say-so in who goes into the Hall of Fame. So why don't we have a say-so? Shit. I figure we know football just as much as a writer does. So, you know what I'm saying? And me, myself, one thing about me, man, I don't make shit personal. All I go by is numbers. I go by numbers, did the dude with a championship, and that's pretty much it. I don't care if the dude got caught stealing a pack of Annihilators out the store. I don't give a fuck about that shit. It ain't called the Moral Hall of Fame. It's called the motherfucking Hall of Fame. What fame you achieved as a professional football player or a professional baseball player, professional hockey player, professional boxer, or, you know what I'm saying, professional basketball player. That's it. That's all. All this shit about he was a team obliterator. Well, there were people that played with T.O. and said that he was a cool dude. And I don't believe Skip Bayless when he said that his teammates were approaching him saying, "What are you doing?" And, take it up for this guy. Because I'm going to tell you something. Keep in mind, I remember when Skip Bayless worked in the Bay Area. Skip Bayless used to work for the San Jose Mercury News. And I'm going to tell you, Skip Bayless ain't exactly that somebody reach out to talk to and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't believe that for a second. I think he's fucking lying. And it's not like Skip Bayless ain't been caught in the lie before. Because he definitely was lying about Manny Pacquiao. We all know that Skip Bayless lies to support his agenda, which is to try to demean a player or, a particular athlete that he doesn't like. But anyway, man, in closing, man, I may have to start, you know what I'm saying? I may have to start a campaign to get T.O. in the Hall of Fame because, we'll know next February, and I guarantee you Skip Bayless is making his phone calls. Skip Bayless is gonna do whatever it takes to keep Terrell Owens out the Hall of Fame. And I guess it's gonna take the fans to get T.O. into the Hall of Fame because I'm gonna try to get T.O. into the Hall of Fame. Flat out. He belongs there and he should be in there. I'm out.